You're watching The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Now, we have some doctors here that has been making Yee pee out her butt for the last 15 days.
That's not true because nothing was happening out my butt when I did this 14-day detox.
Now, introduce the doctors, Yee.
Dr. Amun, Dr. Amsu, and Gessie.
Coach Gessie.
Yeah, Coach Gessie. All right, so they were on the show before, if you guys recall. And we were talking a lot about our diets and being vegan and just all kinds of different issues that people have due to their diets.
Holistic?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And so I did agree to do this 14-day detox, but one important thing that took me a while to get started was finding the right time to start, because it was important for me to pick a two-week period of time that I wasn't all over the place. I wasn't flying places, having a million different events to do. So finally, we locked in a date to get started. I didn't think I'd be able to do it because it is a dry fast the entire 14 days, and we're allowed
liquid fast.
Liquid fast, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Liquid fast, so I couldn't eat anything solid.
And she been peeing out her butt for 15 days straight.
There was nothing. Why do you keep saying that? Because I told you there's no food going in, so all we did was pee. It wasn't anything else coming out. So, yeah.
She couldn't have sex. She couldn't run.
Right.
She couldn't do exercise.
That's right.
What's the point of the detox?
Yeah, let's talk
What's
about this
the end
detox.
So a lot
result?
of people ask me about it, and that's why I'm glad you guys came back up to explain why somebody would do this 14-day detox. There's a 7-day, a 14-day, and a 30-day that you guys have on the detoxnow.com.
30 days? You think you could do it for 30 days?
They're all different,
Well,
though.
they're different.
Oh, Yee
Each
said I was
one
looking
is
like a
different.
chicken finger, so I knew it was getting bad.
I mean, you got to look at it like this. We're constantly working our body. Our digestive system's constantly working. And like anything, you know, whether you look at a motor vehicle or anything in life, if you're constantly working it without giving it a time out, a break, it's going to eventually pack up.
Right.
So one of the things is with the 14-day liquid fast, you know, you're giving your body time to start rebuilding because you're resting it from hard, solid foods that you would, you know, take in every day. So one of the benefits is that the body gets time now to rejuvenate and starts to repair itself through that rejuvenation stage. So, and there's a discipline side to it as well. You know, not eating no food for 14 days. You know, your mind starts wandering. There's parasites, there's habits, there's no intimacy. So it's an overall mind, body, and soul fast that you really got to concentrate on what you're doing.
Is that healthy, though?
That's healthy.
Very
Because
healthy.
Think about it. Listen to what we just said. When your body starts repairing itself is when it's having a break, when it's not working. The body will now naturally start repairing itself. So when people say, well, is it healthy not to eat for 14 days? Of course it is. Because now your body's going to start repairing itself. Listen to what you're saying. So it's totally healthy.
And another thing that happens as well is that things that are useless in your body, like fat.
Right.
The whole point is we want to get rid of fat because fat is useless. It carries toxins, bacteria, virulence, all of that. So the fat has to go, and when you're not eating, your body actually starts to pull from fat, pull from tumors, anything that isn't supposed to be there. Your body will break it down, metabolize it to use it as energy. So, you know, that's why it's so healthy. When you fast, you're actually increasing red blood cells, reducing white blood cells, because white blood cells, anybody who suffers from any form of inflammation, bloating or anything like that, that's the white blood cells doing it. So when you're fasting, your white blood cells are being reduced and your red blood cells are being increased, which brings oxygen around the body and electricity. So, you know, I don't want to go too deep into it.
I love the way you say fat too. It makes it sound disgusting. Like I don't
disgusting.
want to be fat.
But some people think fat means just weight, right? Now, you know, everybody's about to be going vegan because Beyonce and her 115 million fans have said they're going vegan, right?
But they didn't all say that.
Well, I'm saying like she's announced it
She's going vegan
and
again?
everybody.
Well, 'cause
she's
Yeah.
going on tour.
But here's the thing.
Challenge. They're
The
doing a
reason, though,
challenge.
it's a challenge that she's issued. And the thing about it is, what Dr. Amun and Dr. Amsu both talked about is that the very first step when you are looking to whether it's prevent disease or cure some kind of chronic condition, whether it's fibroids, which we found significant success around, diabetes, which we've seen significant reversal of diabetes, type 1 reversal on actually this detox, to, you know, heart disease, high cholesterol, and high blood pressure issues. the very first step is actually detoxing to actually clear the plate, and then also to prevent disease. And then from there, you know, the reason we empower people to make sure, while people are tossing around this term vegan, that they're not exchanging animal-based toxins for plant-based toxins. We want to educate them, and that's why we give them the free download, the Life After Detox food list on the detoxnow.com. And the reason why all of our detoxes include the Life After Detox meal plan, so that they actually can start using food as their medicine, because that's the real deal. The real deal is the detox helps to actually provide this insulation period where you are, think about it like in the hospital, they will actually put you on an NG tube if your body actually has certain certain breakdown. And if anybody knows what the NG tube is, it's to allow your digestive system to completely rest.
Right.
So that healing can take place.
Now let's talk about her fast or her detox.
Detox 14.
What did she have to do? Let's start. Because she was because one of her friends didn't make it.
Yes.
One of her friends tapped out early. Now let's talk
You made
about.
it sound like she died.
But she went to the emergency
She stopped
room.
after the fifth day.
But let's talk about the detox.
It is different for every person. I will say that. And what are some reasons that people might have a negative reaction when they actually detox?
Well, like we were saying, so now when the body's in that period of resting, okay, it starts releasing toxins out of the body because it's starting to repair itself. Okay, so at that stage, depending on how much toxicity is in an individual, will then measure how rough this actual detox or fast can be for them. So in your friend's situation, and I knew the particular lady was going to have the worst experience.
Why did you think that?
Because I see her Instagram, I see how she drinks, how she smokes, what she eats.
He's a drinker too, though.
And I was like, you know what? She's gonna hit it. It's gonna. And I said this on the call.
But there were
prior
also
to it,
a
I was
medical
like,
condition that we
right,
know about
but
too.
I said it's gonna hit her bad because once she goes into that ketose state, and that's where the sugar levels of the body drops, and like Dr. Amsa was just saying, it starts looking for the fat in the body now to fuel for energy. That's when it starts releasing all of these toxins, and that's gonna give you headaches. That's gonna make you want to vomit. That's gonna even affect your heart rate to some, because the body now is going under that pressure.
She had the shakes to
and she
chill
had the
down.
shakes.
Yeah.
So it's almost
Absolutely.
like a bittersweet situation.
Yeah.
You're getting repaired, you're getting rid of them,
But it hurts.
It hurts at the same time.
Exactly.
And what I said to everybody is that when you put in toxins in the body, it's very enjoyable. You're doing it every day with what you eat and what you consume. However, when they have to come out, it's a different story.
So let's talk about
How do they usually come out? Is it sweat or is it?
Defecation, urination, respiration, perspiration. Those 4 methods. And this is the thing, they don't leave without a fight, especially parasites. Parasites go out screaming, they'll go out and they'll take you down, Parasites
Mine
are
is
terrible.
usually sweat. Like I can always, when I eat something I know I don't got no business eating, I'll sweat.
And it's good to know your telltale signs, so you know. Somebody try to poison me or something. I ain't eating from her no more.
Word.
All these things. When you go somewhere and if you sweat, that lets you know, all right, something in that particular meal or something I've had that day, and it's good when something happens, you go back and you can now know, all right, that this has an adverse effect on me.
Yeah, I had some Nathan's French fries Saturday night at the Barclays Center.
There you go.
And when I was walking out, forehead just.
That was your body's reaction right away.
You're cool because if it's sweat, that's one of the best ways
easiest.
because
Right.
it's unnoticeable. But when some people smell bad, it comes out through their body, body
Gas.
odor. Some people
It's an
gas.
inflammatory
There was a
response.
fight on a plane the other day. Some guy
That guy would have stopped farting on
wouldn't
the
stop
plane.
farting on the plane.
I want to talk about yeast, though. So, what was the
Right.
start with ye? Let's break. I don't want to break down the whole thing. People can come to you if they need to, but let's do the first 5 days. So, what's the first thing ye had to do?
I'll tell you what the first thing I did do was. I made sure, like, the first few days before I even started, I just modified my diet so I wouldn't shock myself going into it.
Smart.
So as far as, like, I wasn't drinking, I wasn't eating anything too heavy. I tried to make sure I was doing, like, a lot of fruits and vegetables. So that,
Transitioned.
yeah,
You
so I
created
can
a
make that transition because I don't think you want to have, like, a big, huge meal and then start the next day.
So, you don't eat nothing? You just drink water the whole time? Because I seen you put something under your tongue or something.
Oh, these herbal supplements.
Right. So we're still giving the body
Which are
minerals. Right. So the supplements are your minerals that your body needs to function. The water, because that's what energy, the energy you get is not necessarily from your food. It's actually from oxygen and water. Okay. So The water was to make sure she doesn't dehydrate. All right, so she keeps hydrated. The supplements were for the minerals for the body to keep functioning, and then the rest of everything else was just
Coconut water if I started feeling dizzy.
to
So
keep
all she had for
became
15 days was
best friend.
coconut water and the minerals? That's it?
minerals, fresh spring water, and some structured water.
Structured water
But your
has
body
chlorophyll
knows
in
how to
it.
fast,
Chlorophyll.
right? Your body
Yeah.
knows how to fast, and it starts to use it. It
Right.
starts to use what you don't need.
You should
that's
lose
in your
mad
body.
weight, right?
You
Well-
can, but what you lose more is fat,
Fat.
actually, which is
Yes.
storing those actually toxins, which really we're
Yeah.
not going to.
And what you will find is that it's the after effect. Now, as the sisters finish the detox, is what she does after. If she sticks to the plan, she will start losing more fat. We don't like to use the word weight. Fat.
Muscle is weight, and
But-
muscle is
Yeah,
good.
muscle weighs
If
more than
she-
fat.
If she
Yeah, there you go.
falls back into bad habits, the drinking, right, and all of that,
Did you drink this weekend, Yee?
Yes, I had 2 drinks.
she's gonna blow up. The fat will come back quick.
That's a fact. Because I cut carbs, so I don't really eat carbs like that.
Right.
But if I have like a week where I'm like on my carbs heavy,
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
quick.
And it's an inflammatory response.
That's
That's
what I was
the
about to
key
say.
thing.
Yeah.
The key thing is it's not just, hey, this is not about managing, your size. This is about managing the conditions that are actually your body is developing on the inside that you don't see until the outside. I just had a call yesterday, this woman who she actually was put on, after postmenopause, she was put on the hormone replacement drugs, found out she was riddled with blood clots in years afterwards, okay? And that was because of the estrogen and how it was attacking her body. It's not stuff that you see, and that's why I would really applaud Angela and Paris, because they didn't even have, a lot of the women when they come to us, they have the incentive because they are dealing with severe fibroid symptoms, severe, and whatever it may be, diabetes, whatever it is. So they have the impetus to get healthy, but they were like on a prevention tip, and that is the music to our
Right.
ears.
Right.
Prevention's better than
Because
cure.
it's better for her
Better
to be dealing with
canvas
it
for us to work
now
with, right.
than 5 years, 10 years from now. She's dealing with some sort of cancer. She's dealing with heart disease because her body was all along developing those
You
conditions.
might be too late with Paris. Because I
Shut
remember
up,
when we was in Myrtle Beach and she did that #2 and messed the toilet up.
Oh my
and the
God.
dude that had to fix it in the lobby was like, "Oh my God, it was disgusting." Like he talked like it was the worst bowel
But
movement
her
he ever
body,
seen.
that may be part of the way her body detoxes,
Right.
right? And so it was like rejecting
She hates that
it.
story.
That's true though, because this was after she ate like 6 Krispy Kreme donuts.
You gave us those Krispy Kreme donuts, by
Yes.
the way. One woman, actually, who I met in the juice bar, told me that she fasted for 20 days, right? Only drank water, and actually her fibroids came out.
Yeah, we've
Yes,
had that
that
too.
happens
That's
all the
happened
time.
with-
Really?
That's the importance of the supplements. The supplements inhibit estrogen.
Right.
They help the liver to do what it's supposed to do, which is to what we call to metabolize or flush out, filter out toxins. Because things like nitrogen, the body's always trying to get rid of nitrogen. So the liver, not only does it assign minerals into the blood that goes to organs that need it to do reparation, it also gets rid of toxins. So when your liver's working right, you're golden.
Yeah.
The liver is
body
so
will reject
powerful.
the stuff.
So the supplements, these are electric food supplements. And our slogan for electric food, spelled with a PH, right? Our slogan is nature is the best pharmacy. Nature is the best pharmacy because there's no adverse side effects. No adverse
Right.
side effects. So your body, when you're doing a detox, your body is going to go through sickness. How severe that sickness is depends on how sick you really are. You may be asymptomatic with your illness, but when you start to detox, it's going to show you, oh man, I've got pain, I've got headaches, I'm throwing up, I'm doing whatever. This is letting you know,
Your body.
your body was getting ready to break down.
How
If
often
people
should
are
you do a
fearful,
detox?
I was going to say people are fearful just to what he said about that. I didn't have any side effects except that I was kind of hungry and sometimes a little
Because you're
bit.
golden, Angela. You're golden.
And neither did Paris, and we were very fortunate in that it wasn't any pain. I kept anticipating something would happen, but it really wasn't that bad. Other than yes, at times, sometimes I wasn't hungry, and I think the beginning was easier for me. And
It's harder later.
it got harder as we progressed. And sometimes the coconut water helped a lot as far as feeling a little dizzy and lightheaded. But that was the worst thing, was that sometimes I was a little bit lightheaded.
So you couldn't do regular water?
Yes.
Spring water is
Well-
regular.
Oh, you mean like
it's
tap?
what you call spring.
Well, like,
not
you know,
tap.
like
That's called spring
Fiji.
water. Well,
Well,
a better
we don't
brand.
have-
I don't
We
know about
do
Fiji,
recommend
man.
Fiji.
Fiji
But
came
to
second to Cleveland, man.
To answer your
Cleveland.
question,
I don't know about that.
there's like 4 different types of detoxing or fasting, and I recommend at least maybe twice
A year? Twice a year. So
Twice a year.
you would advise the 14-day, 2 14 days or 14
No,
and
no,
7?
no,
Or?
no. The 14 days.
I'm gonna try. I try 7. I can't give you
Right.
14.
Yeah.
But it's different. Let him
I
talk
was
to you
gonna say I
about it.
think you and Charmaine should do the 30-day, which is a fruit fast.
It's fruit.
for
Yeah,
just
you still
30
get to
days.
eat.
I could do that.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
fruit, but
Detox
it's
It's
very
like in the
specific
summertime though, when it
fruits.
gets a little bit more warmer, so you have a bit more variety. You two should try that because that one we have reversed diabetes type 1 and 2, high blood pressure, and arthritis. Just on someone having 30 days. with
And
the
cancer.
fruit.
Don't
And
forget
and
cancer, the big
with
C.
the fruit,
Yeah.
with the fruit and the supplements.
Can we talk about that? Are you ever too far gone? Like, say if you have like stage 4 cancer. Like,
Yes.
say,
Right. My
Yes.
uncle is right now
So
suffering from that.
You know, you get a lot of people out there that saying, you know, we can cure everything and that. But realistically, if the body has been damaged to a certain degree, it's beyond repairing. But what we can do now, we've had
Also, sorry to interrupt you, bro. If someone's on chemo, because this is what's the problem is that what they've done to try to get rid of it ends up being the worst toxin than what they had in them. So people who come to us in their stage 4, stage 5 is like, all right, what you been doing? Radiology, chemo, you know, I had an operation, they remove certain glands. Glands, when you start moving organs and glands, your whole endocrine system, your balance in your body is being affected, how it repairs itself. So, you know, these toxins from chemo, they're like napalm. They kill good and bad cells. So when we come in now and we're saying, okay, do this, sometimes the pain that somebody may have to go through to, you know, there's a threshold what they have to pass. Some people are like, I
Can't
can't
go
do
through
it.
that, right.
I can't
Think
do that.
about it as a race. Like, it's how far along has the disease, how much of a lead does the disease have on you?
Well, what I was going to say
Right.
was a real true story where we got a client and the family came to us. He was in bed because he did the chemo. He had like 6 weeks. They gave him 6 weeks to live. And, you know, we was honest to them. We was like looking at his records and the amount of treatment he's had and what was removed and organs and the amount of chemo. And we said, the best we can do is probably prolong that 6 weeks.
Give him better quality.
And give him better quality. We ended up giving him 2 years. And he got out of his bed, he was walking, you know, and then eventually
It's too late, right?
it was
It
too
was
late.
brain
But-
lesions.
Yeah, the brain lesions got to him. But the family were like, oh, so grateful. And it was a very touching story, you know what I mean? Because that's the part of our job where we don't like when we can't. But the fact that they said we gave him those extra year and a half, it was
Right.
phenomenal. They did a lot, you know, his parents, his sisters, siblings and things, you know, they were from South Carolina. And they had
Having time to
cookouts
come
and
together
you know
and
what I
have
mean. He was
family
like,
time.
"Listen, man, I'm just gonna have fun, you guys," because we got him out of bed. He actually started working again.
Really?
You know, started more in the lawns from his parents. I mean, he just had his life back again for that period of time. So it would have been good if we caught him maybe at stage 2, stage 3 of it, and we definitely would have reversed it like we do, and that would have been fine. So
yeah, I gave, you know, Combat Jack, rest in peace, my man Reggie. I gave him y'all info right before he passed. But yeah, because I think y'all came up here on like a Wednesday or something.
November.
Yeah, in November.
Wednesday.
And I saw him on like that Friday, and I gave him y'all information. But I think he like passed like 2 weeks later after that.
It's heartbreaking. This is why our urgency is to get people to be active now. You know, we have had tremendous testimonies where one of our Hope sisters, like her testimony is on the website. She said before she even started the program, she literally was just waiting to die.
Damn.
I mean, because she was always going to the hospital because of anemia, and her situation was fibroids, right? By the time, I mean, she was bleeding 17 to 21 days a month, every month, and her cycle came on every 12 days. Now, you have to, that is no repair time for the body whatsoever, okay? And she would be, the first 3 days of her cycle, she would be vomiting so violently that she had to be on IV for the dehydration. And her husband's a fireman, so he literally would be putting her on an IV, okay? And she's going through, I mean, not to be graphic, but her bleeding was so heavy, she was going through diapers every hour, okay? And that's a quality of life
Right,
issue.
absolutely.
See what I'm saying? So when she said, Gessie, literally, I'm not being hyperbolic when I say I was waiting to die, right? And somebody sent her one of our videos, and she and her mother and sister started the program, and they actually started it with the Detox, because what we do is when women have these situations or whatever the health condition is, and they're in such a severe situation, we want to help them accelerate their results. That's when we start them on the Detox 14 first, right? And then we, continue the program from there. By the 14 days, first of all, her mom and her sister did it with her for solidarity.
Right.
Her mother actually had a high blood pressure where she was on medication, so on statins, completely reversed in the 14 days. She went to the doctor afterwards. She was no longer on that. Actually, her mother had high cholesterol. And she also had a hiatal hernia that completely disappeared. That's why we talk about the body knows how to heal itself. And then her sister was the one who was on high blood pressure meds, and that completely normalized. And she's at the point now where her cycle was down to 7 days, no vomiting. She's no longer level 20 of pain. She's down to she's actually doesn't even deal with cramping anymore. She's like, Gessie, I've never even envisioned a life where I could get my life back. And then there's a case where Dr. Amun helped the woman literally reverse, with the same protocols, reverse sickle cell anemia, which was an amazing testimony.
Right here in New York.
Right
In
here,
New York, it was in New York.
How much of
Shout out, Nia.
how much of Dr. Sebi's, teachings did y'all follow?
Dr. Sebi is the catalyst for all of us. Anybody who.
Shout out.
Because we all grow up and we see our parents on meds. You got meds in the cabinet and stuff like that. So it's like a legacy passed down that we trust pharmaceutical industry, or when something goes wrong, here comes Dr. Sebi now, and it's like, wait. So we don't have to go to them. We don't have to suffer. At the end of the commercial, the guy that talks fast, vomiting,
and paying that money for medication.
Like, we don't have to worry about death no more. So Dr. Sebi, one of the inspirations for us, because when we got out of college, we were like, man, this whole thing, on this whole paradigm is about you treat somebody with pharmaceuticals, there's a whole story behind how they got the world off natural remedies and put them onto synthesized pharmaceuticals. So here comes Dr. Sebi, and it was this light that was like, okay. Plus, he's a black man.
Right.
Condom forever.
Plus, he's a black man. So it's like, okay. So
The
we
Black
can,
Panther.
so we started, myself and Dr. Ammon started looking into, herbal remedies and started doing, and the rabbit hole goes so deep. So it's like, wow. And then we find out, these pharmaceutical companies, they go into the Amazon jungle and they grab all these herbs. They know what fixes, what reverses, what cures. But the bad thing is, if we give them the cure, we ain't gonna make no more money.
Ain't no money in the cure, the money's in the treatment.
Right.
Did y'all ever meet him? Did y'all ever meet him?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we worked with him. We
for like 2-3 years.
had him on speed dial.
Yeah.
How'd y'all feel about the government killing him because he was about to mess up their money?
You see,
I mean,
there's a
we
lot
don't
behind that.
we don't know. We don't know, and
Yeah.
we ain't trying to get into
Well,
trouble
you see,
with the government.
you see, this is the thing.
We're
What
trying to get on the list.
What I want to say personally about Dr. Sebi is like, he's an ancestor now. You know what I mean? With all the conspiracy, the government, let's just leave that alone. Let's remember the greatness.
No, it was a
done.
great guy. I got a chance to interview
It
him
definitely
twice.
was fishy though.
I had his number on speed dial as well.
Come
He was
on,
a great
man.
dude, him and his
It definitely
family.
was like, come on, man.
I mean, there's a conversation you can have off record, but the thing I was saying is like, the man was great, but it's for us to pick up the baton and move on.
Like
Now,
I said, the story I tell everybody is I tell this all the time because I'm surprised. I think we interviewed him when he was about 74, 75.
dropped on his knees.
And he jumped from there on his knees and then got back up.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Jumped on his knees?
No, he
dropped.
He dropped. Like from here,
Oh.
he was on the console, jumped off the console and landed on his knees and then got back up.
Why though? Just to show
Just to
how
show
strong
that
he was.
his, how strong he
Strength
was
of
and,
No
his body.
osteoporosis.
and the
None of
strength of his body. And I was
75.
like, you try to do that right now, and I swear you would be,
Who?
you.
Shit.
You can do it?
I've been studying Dr. Sebi for a while.
Can you
okay?
stand on this console?
somebody
and
asked
jump
you. He
and
asked you,
land
can you
on
do
Can
your
I
knees?
jump on the console and land on my
No,
knees?
jump from the console to the floor on your knees.
Why would I do that?
Now, you know what? Son?
No, but you know,
What's the point of that?
one of the most amazing things about Dr. Sebi is he was still having children.
Yeah.
Still having children, and one of the biggest things, especially with men over the age of like 35, right? There's a problem of erectile dysfunction with men,
Not me.
Oh, yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
That ain't what I heard. No,
He had vitamins and pills for that.
No, I don't.
Well,
No,
But tell them what they
Dr.
don't
Sebi
know.
had.
right. So not only is the issue with men with erectile dysfunction, but erectile dysfunction is more prevalent in women. Female erectile dysfunction.
There's no such that don't even make sense.
Why not?
What is erectile dysfunction in a woman?
Ooh, listen
All right.
in here.
Women are supposed to have erections.
you
go.
Females, the clitoris.
We have little penises.
Right.
You know.
The clitoris is supposed to erect between 2 centimeters and 5 centimeters.
Somebody
Now,
give me a ruler, goddammit. Let me see how long that is.
I mean, you know, I know you would
I
investigate
checked it
that.
myself.
You sucked
I
on a
knew
little
it.
penis last night, Charlamagne.
I just want to know how long 2 centimeters is. I did though, but what?
Yeah. So the thing is there's an issue with women. Female sexual dysfunction is the big issue.
Right.
Female erectile dysfunction is the thing that no women know about it.
They don't.
They don't know about it. They don't know it's supposed to happen. So one of the problems with the female erectile dysfunction is orgasmic disorder because
That's right.
women are supposed to bust a nut every time like a man does.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
Oh,
Now,
word.
Well, I live in a very
See,
healthy
that's a
household.
problem. Oh, word. That's a
Not
problem.
right.
what we've had over the years, right, with men is, things like you don't last long enough. You're a 1 minute man. So when we look into it, it's like, well,
This is his story, by the way, right?
no, it ain't my story. It ain't my story. I'll be like, yo, leave. I'll be like, leave. The sign's going on. I already know. Sign ain't right. Leave. You're taking too long. That's too much damn work. Anyway, my point is that there is an issue. Like Dr. Amsu said, a woman is supposed to climax every time, right? Through penetration sex.
Yeah, penile vaginal intercourse.
Vaginal intercourse. Now, if they do not, there's something wrong with her, not us. There is something wrong with her because with women it's more complicated, it's more complex. With men it's
something
straightforward.
physiologically
Right.
wrong.
It's more.
Okay.
It's
Making
more
sure.
with men. If we don't rise to the occasion, we can't do nothing.
Right.
But with women, if they don't rise, they can still.
Let me translate this for y'all. You supposed to squirt, ma. All right.
not
That's
even-
great. But let me ask you this, though.
Right.
Because I would say every single time.
Every time.
That might not happen for a woman because, like you said, what if he doesn't last long enough? Or
Well,
I'm
He
sure
got a
there's other
mouth.
factors.
okay. Anything like you know, have you ever like dated before you guys were married, like dated and you met with women and they like, they would be talking to you and they'd be like, yeah, it takes me ages to get to that point. It takes me ages to climb it. That's a problem. That ain't me being a 1 minute. That's you. You have a problem to get to that point.
Right.
Now,
But
that's
also
a dis-
sometimes it could be the position that you're into
There could
because
be-
certain positions
I've been with my wife
it doesn't
20
happen
years.
as quickly.
And she wasn't always a squirter. Which is, the funny thing, the first time we ever had sex, she squirted, which was in 1998. Didn't squirt for 10 years after that.
She probably
been
pictured
squirting for the
someone
past
else
10.
that time.
So what you will find is that, and this, it's been documented that women that has actually made the transition from meat eating or to being vegan or plant-based, their sex drive is enhanced. Their sex performance has got better, okay? Because what you have to understand is that we are chemically driven. We're a chemical compound. When we eat and drink as full of chemicals, they have an effect. So these disorders that we have, or we're going to be mentioning, right, are real. So when we say that a woman, every time she has sexual intercourse with a man, she should come. Okay, we're not going to
Squirt.
put a time or squirt, whether we say it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but you start, 20 minutes is going on and it's like there still ain't nothing. That's a problem because she has the ability to reproduce multiple orgasms. We don't, but they do.
Gotcha.
Now,
So-
with female erectile dysfunction, the actual issue behind that 99% of the time is heart disease. It's
Yep.
first
See, and I was
signs
gonna say, let's get
of
to the
heart
deep
disease, which is
Yeah.
atherosclerosis. because,
So if you don't squirt, you got heart disease?
well,
They're not saying
it's
squirt. I don't think
it's an
it's
early
squirting.
sign.
Not that. I think it's an
I'm not
orgasm.
saying squirt because
He's not saying squirt, he's saying orgasm.
Orgasm.
Charlamagne.
I mean, squirting, just makes it better for us because, but with atherosclerosis, right?
The arousal too, right?
Right. Even the arousal, right? Because arousal, part of the arousal is the erection, right? And even with lubrication,
right.
right? Vaginal lubrication. That is a telltale sign because it's all about blood engorgement.
Right.
The blood, arterial blood flow, congestion, and that. The problem is females, the arterial nerve, the artery of the clitoris is like 0.2 millimeters. 0.2 millimeters, it's so tiny. So any form of atherosclerosis, this is why like 95% of women don't, have an orgasm all the time. Even if they have one every 10 times or one every 20 times, it's a problem. And it's a first sign of heart disease.
Man, God bless y'all for coming in here giving men a new excuse
women.
to not make their women come. It's your fault. You got a heart disease.
Hold on. Let me clarify something now. There is an issue. There is an issue with men though, because we're not totally letting men off the hook. Because if a man, women need testosterone in order to get an erection. They need enough testosterone. So there's a hormonal side, but there's also men who go into andropause. Andropause is when they're not produced, where the ratio between testosterone and estrogen has depleted, right? So men who get like man boobs, gynecomastia, men who are going bald.
Why are you looking at envy?
Telltale signs of fat around the waist. These are signs of estrogen dominance, which erectile dysfunction can be an issue. So, men produce.
I'm down 10, baby.
Yo, you really a woman, yo. You got titties and the stomach. You got too much estrogen.
Men produce pheromones, right? Men produce pheromones. One in particular is called androstenedione. Which is directly from testosterone. And women go crazy for it. When we kiss women, French kiss and whatever, and even in our sweat, this is producing this pheromone.
From our saliva.
Right? We're transferring. So we're emitting this pheromone. When a woman is no longer attracted to us sexually, it means that we're not producing this. So alpha males, the reason why so many women like these hip hop niggas is because the thug is testosteroned up. Now when you got these R&B singer types, softer, more sensitive, studies have been done to show that the sensitive guy ain't making his woman aroused like the thug. It's scientific. That's why, you gotta be a bedroom bully.
But sometimes it can be very mental. There can be very mental as well.
Songs ain't holding it down. Chris Brown ain't holding it down. Miguel ain't holding it down.
Lloyd and them.
Chris Brown said songs R&B thugs.
Lloyd and them,
We gotta talk about the emotional piece to it too, though.
Because mentally, you can be. Somebody could be very attractive to you, but if mentally you're not attracted to them, I don't know.
Well, no, we're going to be on
Don't make no excuses as to why you're not squirting you. Let's go get that heart check.
And there's some guys that can make you come every time and some that just don't.
Right.
Well, the ones who don't, you have to ask yourself, are you compatible? Because what we're saying is that when you get past that stage of where you're actually talking, dating, courting, whatever you want to say, and you actually go in now with the intimacy, at that point there, okay, there might be some chemistry unbalance, there might be smells, there might be shapes here in funny places that can and, I'm just, like I said,
like what if he has a little dick?
Mikey told us certain things, some bad experiences, but those things. But we're saying put that to the side, and you actually are contented to what you see, and you actually now going through the motion. What we're just basically trying to say is that there's a lot of dysfunctional disorder with women that they're not even aware of. They don't even realize. The depression, the actual drive for sexual, like you've got hyperactive sexual disorder that takes place where a lot of women don't even feel the desire of sexual thought, sexual fancy. Not just rough, we're talking romantic as well. Go to Victoria's Secret, dress up. Victoria's Secret is a secret in some men's bedroom. They don't see it, So it's a serious situation, right? Now, when we're saying that there's a cardiovascular problem with the blood, anywhere in the body where there is a stoppage of blood flow is going to affect the sexual organs. That's what we're trying to bring. And the most serious side of it is that once that is taking place or emotion that can lead to cardiac arrest.
Now,
Ms.
how
Thompson, what's wrong with these men's dicks, though? I feel like we've been doing a lot of women clit bashing.
Well, okay, so first of all, I'm glad that we're having this conversation in March because March is Women's Month.
Okay.
And as a woman here, for me, it's all about empowering the woman, first of all, to educate them around this because too many of us are suffering in silence, not knowing it is a condition. So we are, I say, help empowering women to reclaim their time in the bedroom, okay, by virtue of exposing this and helping them understand that there is a sex fix to actually help them to get their mojo back. I was one of the 40% of women in the United States who deal with this condition because, number one, for 15 years, I was battling fibroids back and forth. Many times they kept coming back. And I had severe pain during sexual intercourse during that time, off and on, because of those conditions. And then after that, when my condition ended, when I ended the fibroids through the hysterectomy, before we started this whole thing, guess what? I now faced the situation where I now was faced a new challenge where through the hysterectomy, I was facing the crippling of my sex life, okay? And why? I think the best way, now, listen, I'm a Jesus girl. You know, I've heard Angela White come on here and say, I'm a Jesus girl. And God made sex, okay? He is the author of the orgasm. And that means that I can enjoy and love sex,
Damn
period.
right.
Because the marriage bed is holy, right? So that means that my sex life is very important. And what I found is literally my vajayjay, the best way to say it, felt like sandpaper. Okay? That's the only way to no sex, no arousal, no desire.
Chafe during
all
that
the things
stuff.
that,
No
and not just
lubrication,
chafe.
nothing.
Not just chafe. Literally, when you say you felt like you just had no desire,
Right.
like, the only thing that the GYNs wanted to point me to was
Hormone replacement
therapy.
therapy.
Hormone replacement
Okay, which now at the same time that accelerates the development of cancer. So I'm gonna
Right.
go from
Estrogen dominance. It
Yeah.
brings it
yeah,
accelerates
literally, it
estrogen dominance.
accelerates it. Not only just it, the fact that you have the estrogen dominance, but it accelerates it. And so I was like, okay, I'm faced at the point where now I have to find a natural remedy, and that's actually how I found the doctors. And because I knew I couldn't live, I'm 44 years old. I have a lot more sex
Wow,
to
you
have
look
in my
good.
life.
You look
know
great.
what I'm saying? Well, I'm 46 now, but thank you. I
You
have
got
a
a good
lot,
3-4 years.
more sex to go. Shut up. So for me, literally, the solution between the supplements, the lifestyle, the food, that's actually when I got my mojo back. You know what I mean? I know my husband's grateful, but the point is that's when I started to feel a desire again. I started to feel actual pleasure in the actual act. Because when you can't have pleasure in the act, you feel like you want to cry because you're in pain. That's a problem.
Yeah, sexual pain disorder
That's a pain.
is a
problem.
major issue.
I thought it was
And
just
I was
me.
gonna
I
tell
know
you,
a lot of men think I tore that up.
But there are so
This-
many
this-
women dealing with
Karina.
this. There's
Yeah.
so many women dealing with this, and they're ashamed because they feel like it's something wrong with me. My mental, because that's what they break it down. It's just my mental. Your head's not in the game.
I want to
Your
tell
head's not
you a
in the
true
game.
story. We had, and they're going to be putting their testimonies on our website. Okay, we had, I think, must have been a group of mouse being like 2 couples and 1 single lady, and they never heard about females having erections. They were like, "What do you mean, like getting moist, getting wet, getting aroused?" We're like, "That's part of it, but actually, your clitoris, or known as the medical term, female penis, is supposed to erect." So they took on the meal plan, the supplements. Within 21 days, they called me, "Hey, doc, have you got a minute?" I'm like, "Yeah." And she's at work, so she's whispering, right? So I'm like, "What's up?" She's like, "Okay, I'm not trying to be unprofessional here, but I just need to ask you a couple of questions because some things are really happening." So I was like, "What?" She goes, "Well, I've had to change my panty twice. I am aroused, my libido's through the roof, and my clitoris is vibrating like a rabbit, like it's just
Like vibranium."
So I was like, "Well, how far you live from home?" She goes, "Well, I already told my husband tonight." And listen, I had the husband call me a couple of days later, like, "Yo, this woman won't leave me alone."
Yeah.
They both of them, he's in the gym, he's working out, so his testosterone levels rising, her testosterone is rising. They are having lovemaking, you know what I mean? And she didn't even father like a female having an erection. She actually experienced an erection with her clitoris, and it blew her mind.
So how can people get in touch with you guys if they want to try some of these detox.
Right, and
or
are
some of
you
these
guys gonna do?
hard clips.
Are you guys gonna do?
First of all,
I'm
hold
gonna
on.
try. I'm gonna do a detox.
Are you guys gonna do the detox?
Yes.
That's the
Well,
question.
so the new detox is called the Sex Fix. Okay, that's what we're launching
I don't need
today.
that one, but I'll take that one too. Let's
Yeah,
go.
Eddie doesn't need that.
That's
You
the
may
sex
not
fix.
want
That might have
that
one more.
So
Couple
the
more on the
Sex
way.
Fix is actually the protocol that we're talking about right now in terms of helping people to get their mojo back. We actually we packaged it specifically because we have too many women calling us about this and men who are feeling like, you know what, we need this help. And especially after we were on the set, on the show last time, how many people have hit us up about
And
erectile
this is the thing,
dysfunction?
because women don't
And that's why
report it. Women don't report that they got problem because they don't know. So
Right.
there is no not even a pharmaceutical
They're not
answer for
going like,
women
what do
right
I
now.
do?
There's
Right.
the you know, you got the phosphodiesterase 5 inhibitors for men, right?
Viagra.
Which like and Viagra, but it's like a short-term fix,
Right.
Right?
We're talking about
We're talking
real
about
fix.
no. Fix it where your stuff is functioning naturally. It
And
ain't
because
like
your
taking
health-
something at that moment.
Because
So
the health
That's
is
an
addressed.
excellent point you
Because the
mentioned,
health
because
address.
this is the thing, and I'll say this before we wrap up, was that when we're talking about sex, we're actually letting you know that sex was a measurement of how healthy you are.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yes.
because like Dr. Amsu was saying, it's a heart condition, blood flow,
It could also be hormonal, and
Hormonal.
because women and men who take statin drugs,
right.
cholesterol is metabolized and converted into pregnenolone, right?
is the
Which is
master.
the master hormone, master steroid hormone, which now turns into testosterone, progesterone, and into estrogen down the line.
Right.
Now, when estrogen gets too high, that's when all the problems start because, but that
And that's
without
your diet.
cholesterol, ain't none of that going on.
There's no sex
so
without
statin drugs are,
Killing it.
killing
That's
the
why when people
sex
take
life.
birth control pills, it
Birth
also
control,
affects their sex
anti-
drive.
Killing it.
And that's the thing we have to clear up. Like cholesterol has been tarnished as a bad thing. High cholesterol, you're going to die. It's not. Your whole body,
Needs.
every cell, tissue in the body needs cholesterol. And has
Your
to have
brain
cholesterol.
swims in cholesterol.
Isn't it it's what slows the cholesterol down with the fat?
It
because
is
of the
inflammation that
the
causes
inflammation that happens.
cholesterol. The problem with, and it's not even cholesterol in that; it's the inflammation, because what inflammation is going to do is damage your arteries, your blood vessels. So cholesterol is going to be distributed to repair it.
Right.
So you want to get an inflammatory food or diet out of the window.
So Gessie was about to talk about the sex fix.
Yes.
The
Yes,
actual
sorry.
sex fix.
Yeah.
Yes, so that is why we launched. In fact, today we're launching the Sex Fix, which is it's the two supplements are the Venus and the Virility, right? Venus for women, Virility for men, and Deep Vein specifically to address these medical conditions that we're talking about.
You said deep vein?
Yes, deep
That sounds
vein.
nice.
You like that?
Okay, go ahead.
to address those specific issues and to reverse these conditions so people can just what he said, our sex life is a strong indicator of our health, our true health. One of the women in our program, she actually, just by virtue of even the food, she was like, Gessie, I don't know what it is. I'm eating mangoes and I literally went home to attack my husband the other day. I was like, because mango is like one of those secret hot juice fruits. Like you want to stay, sexually aroused, eat a mango every day. All right. And that's part of why we have meal plans that go with it as well. But specifically, the protocol is for people who are just really, really wanting to get their mojo.
So how can people get on this sex fix diet?
Right at the detoxnow.com.
Detoxnow.com.
The Detox.
The Detox. Now,
Very
is it a
important.
fee? Do they have to pay, or how does it work?
Yeah. I mean, it's a package.
She said yes.
Definitely.
Okay.
But
Do
listen.
you send something to them, or you
You get
tell
all
them
you get the
what to eat?
supplements, and
Yeah,
then
you
you
get
also
everything.
get to have. They do all the calls with you, the preliminary call. They talk to you throughout. You have access.
I'm gonna try a couple detoxes, but y'all got to stay on the phone with
couple.
me, because if I pass out, I
Well,
need to
what
know
we'll
that
They don't
I'm
stand in front of
dying.
you the
We'll
whole
do,
time.
though,
You
we'll
do the
do-
detox.
You said what?
We'll be into. Well, the first thing is to find out what your goals
'Cause if
are
I get a
and what
bruise on my knee, I'm
conditions.
scared.
No.
That's the type of person I am. If I get a bruise, I'm going to the doctor. Make sure I ain't got a blood clot or something. That's
Well,
just
the
me.
biggest thing would be to, we would make sure we would do the assessment in the front end to make sure you don't have anything that we're not talking about.
All right, cool.
Because that's where we would slow a different down.
A major part of this as well, just that we clarify things. We know as men, there's things about women that attract us physically.
Correct.
Right? And the back
Their ass.
is the ass, the
Oh.
back.
Listen.
When backs are round,
Right.
that shows
Brown
that
adipose
there's
tissue.
brown adipose tissue, shows that they have muscle tone. It also is a sign of testosterone.
So
that your testosterone.
a woman's ass should be
A
round.
woman's ass should be round and firm. Round and firm.
Gotcha.
So flat back means that there's sagging, right? Sagging when there's fat, it's a sign that not only of less health, but also that sex is not going to be as enjoyable for her. And women also produce pheromones, and there are smells from women that are undetectable, but you may not feel like, as a man, you might not be like even interested. It's because there's certain undetectable smells, but we're getting the chemical that turns us off.
So what about the whole theory that some women's the asses they're just born flat? So women shouldn't have flat asses.
Squats, nigga.
Right.
Squats.
Muscle. But
muscle reduces fat. Muscle burns fat better than anything else. That's why women, a sedentary lifestyle of sitting down. They wake up, they go and sit down on the toilet, then they get up, sit in their car, get up, go to work, sit down at a desk, get back up, get in the car, sit down, go home, watch Love and Hip Hop, sitting down. That they're not doing any exercise. So female athletes have the best sex. And these are studies. There are studies out there that show
He's got white
female
papers
athletes.
himself.
I always bring up female athletes.
Nah, that's a
be
fact.
hanging out at the track.
Right.
Yeah, track women.
Yeah, track women.
Just athletic period.
Right.
Gymnastics.
That's the
cheerleading.
definition of good.
health.
And I would think
Good
male
pum-pum.
athletes too.
Good
There you go.
pum-pum.
Yeah.
No, I mean, at the end of the day, exercise plays a major part, as you know, in your health and your performance, right? So when a woman or vice versa, a man sees that and they see the bulk, the six-pack, the muscles and things like that, that's testosterone being let off right there. That's the pheromone. So the dopamine on the left side of the brain is being released, and that's where the arousement starts. And we are giving you the full package, the holistic package. So when you're saying holistic, it's not just supplements and here's a meal plan. You got exercise,
soul,
you got
body.
breathing, you got water therapy, you got sun gain, you got the whole thing that we're providing for you,
And how
as
long-
well as support.
How long is the sex fix that you guys are promoting?
It's not like a 10-day thing. It's just a lifestyle.
A lifestyle. Okay.
Right, because it's like asking how long is a piece of string. Some people.
You've
have
always
some
wanted
serious-
to say that. How long's a piece of string?
The key, I think the key thing though is to say that a lot of people don't. They downplay the fact that their sex life is in the toilet. Okay, and what we're saying is, number one, going back to it, your sex life is a strong indicator of your overall health.
Gotcha.
All right, so the detoxnow.com.
Yes.
Make sure you
Oh.
guys go on there for the sex fix.
And we wanted to give you this gift to say thank you, but more for your birthday gift, but also to congratulate you.
well done.
If you open it up, we want you to, because it's really representative of this next
It better
level
be a piece of
health
food.
that you're
She's starving.
soaring into.
It's a chicken wing.
The chicken wing.
No, ain't no chicken wing.
It's a burger. No, I'm kidding. I don't even eat that.
That's right.
She did have a drink
But
this
they're
weekend,
called
though.
birds,
And
and they're by a designer called A New Rock Metal. But they're called birds for you to understand that you're going to a whole new level of
There you go.
living.
Birds for a
Just-
bird.
you want to be there, Charlamagne?
Yeah, we're gonna give you the golden rod. Yo, the golden rod.
Are you going to join him?
Not in the summer.
You've been non-committal.
I'm not gonna do it in the summer. I'm gonna tell you that's great. Cause my birthday in the
30,
summer.
no. The 30 days, the fruit one in the summer.
Yeah.
You could do
See,
that.
I go on vacation in the summer. I ain't gonna lie to y'all.
But Solomon, I'm here to tell you, right? We are known where we come from as kick-off ed. Kick-off ed. We fight. We grew up fighting, and this lifestyle here, it keeps your muscles toned, keeps you strong.
Right.
That's why Dr. Sebi was doing what he was doing. That's why when you look on the walls of Egypt, you always see the pharaohs and whoever, even Osiris, with their phallus out. It shows health and strength. So
Work hand in hand.
we don't even like the term vegan, tell you the truth.
Nah, we're
because
dropping that.
because the
Plant-based.
term
We're
vegan
dropping that.
has a
Unhealthy.
connotation of hippie, the flat.
It's
back
got
and
commercial,
whatnot.
yeah.
No.
And
you know,
health-
and
vegan
yeah,
doesn't mean
and like
healthy, but everything that's
it's
vegan is
becoming
not
like a
healthy.
religion. Like people tell you, oh, you can't do that because you're vegan. No, I eat honey. You know,
And you wear fur.
I eat. I wear fur. I wear sneakers. I'm wearing Timberland leather shoes right
I'm
now.
wearing leather
So
shoes
don't
right
be
now.
telling me if I wear leather, I'm not a vegan. You know,
Yeah.
we are. You know,
I'll be honest with you.
Waka's coming up. Waka Flocka's coming up with a term that we ain't gonna
Conscious.
say. We'll let him say. it.
Yeah, we let him say it. But I'm on that same page that what is becoming on the term of vegan and becoming what they class as a vegan is It's got. I
It's
mean,
not about all of that. Yeah.
we're not going to be using that point blank. We're not going to be using plant-based vegan food and that because you got people eating crap, soy,
It's vegan.
donuts, and they're saying it's vegan. Anything that's labeled organic and vegan, they just drink and eat.
It's unbelievable.
It's crazy.
I'm looking at cheeseburgers like there's no way this is
way this is
vegan.
Right, but
vegan
the
cheeseburger.
Vegan cheese don't even burn.
It doesn't
don't
even
melt.
burn, all right?
I mean, it burns. It'll turn black. Vegan cheese.
We let
Do
you
the vegan
guys
cheese
know.
challenge. Burn it and see what happens. It's plastic.
We're going to let you know a new term we're going to bring.
Okay.
We're going to bring.
And maybe
definitely.
they'll
We're
start
gonna
with the
change
7
game.
day, and we can do that.
Yes, and the 7 days is actually easy. 'Cause
Yeah, you can
eat
do
at
that.
night.
I could do it.
You can
I
still
ain't got no
eat.
problem with it. I can do it.
All right, thank you guys so
Love
much.
you.
I really
Appreciate
appreciate
you.
you.
Thank y'all, man. Always a pleasure
Thank
talking
And
to
thanks to
y'all.
everybody on social media who, I guess a lot of people I'm sure
Yes.
signed up to actually try the detox as well. So
Yes.
Come on,
The
ladies, get that erection.
detoxnow.com.
Don't be ashamed.
Get your
That
life
erection.
back.
The true camel toe.
All right. All right. It's the Breakfast
You
Club. Good
deserve it.
morning.